When I never felt that, come on, yeah. Never felt that, come on, yeah. When I never felt that, come on, yeah. You gotta get up.
All right, you're going to have a Edpuzzle slash crash course assignment due by the time we are through with this section, so don't fall asleep on that. Technology, iron. Iron is going to make a big deal. Your iron plow is going to work a whole lot more effectively than your wooden plow. Changing climate. Things warm up, you can grow more stuff. Third field system. Letting a field go fallow to replenish itself is going to be a new concept. All right, if you take a look at the art of the time, serfs at work, cycle of labor, did calendars, and food and drink. The water at that time was pretty much undrinkable. So you have men, women, and children literally, and I mean literal, not like you mean it in the figurative sense, but literally drinking gallons of beer a day because that's the only thing you can drink that's not really going to give you dysentery or kill you. All right, if you look at the manor, you can see the division of the fields, those that are cultivated for the Lord and those that you can use for your own family. Venice and in Flanders, it's going to be present day Belgium. Champagne is a French region, but we're getting access to spices, sugar, and silk, those things from the Far East. Now, of course, the term Far East is relative. If you live there, it's not Far East, it's here. That's a Germanic League protecting trade in Northern Europe. And then trade's going to lead to a money economy and away from the barter system. It's going to be the birth of our first capitalists. There you can see the medieval trade system. Cities less dependent upon agriculture. Patricians, those are going to be the middle class. And you're getting the beginnings of a middle class throughout Europe. Merchants, artisan will become the bourgeoisie. Burg, that's the end of all of those cities like Pittsburgh. It's focusing on cities, merchants, the middle class that are running things. People get the individual right to buy and sell property instead of everything being owned by the Lord. If you live in the city, you no longer have the duty to serve military service. If you can escape from a serf, a year and a day in the city, you've gained your freedom. The city's crowded. You take a look, it's pretty much wood, wattle, and daub, which is between the wood. You're going to weave through there. Wattle is going to be sticks, and the daub is going to be this mixture of mud and cow dung and other things. So yeah, they are living in mud shacks, even though they look better than what you would think of when you think of shack. But issues with water, we talked about the beer. Issues with air, everything's done through fire. You want to heat, you want to cook. There's no oven. You've got an open fire right there in your house. Guilds. It's going to be the opposite of capitalism. It's going to be a monopoly. It's going to be no competition, but cooperation. Before you can do any particular trade, you have to be a member of that guild. If we go with, let's say, making shoes, okay? You can't make and sell shoes in a city unless you're a member of the guild. And before you can be a member of the guild, they talk about the process of becoming an apprentice. Then they will become a journeyman, and then eventually a master craftsman. You provide the labor, skill, and in return, you're taught a trade. Now, to pass to become a master craftsman, you have to produce what's called your masterpiece, where they dictate how the shoes are going to be made. And that's part of eliminating the competition, because it doesn't matter whether you buy your shoes from store A or store B, they're going to be exactly the same product for exactly the same price. And so they're only going to allow so many shoemakers in the town basically to supply the needs of the people. You may have one on the west side of town and one on the east side of town, so there's no point in going across town because you're going to get the same shoe for the same price. So the master craftsman, to take your test, you will make your masterpiece. Did you make the shoe the same way that it's all supposed to be made? Now, you can pass into master craftsman, but if there's no more room for shoemakers in your city, you've got to hit the road. And that's a quick overview of Europe in the Middle Ages.